Man, I'm getting tired of getting on this channel and having to complain about something. Jesus Christ, can we please get a break? Can we please get a break? But what's good, people? It's your boy Clan, the Spurs fan. I'm going live again. I'm gonna be on here for a few minutes, and I'm just gonna let out a few of my emotions. And I know Spurs fans feel the same. So, after last night, we watched the ceremony. A lot of people, shout out to everybody that came into the live stream and watched the ceremony for Manu Ginobili. We cried together. We smiled together. We shared a special moment. We felt like we shared a special moment with our boy Manu Ginobili. And it's undeniable that every player in the NBA that has any type of respect for Manu Ginobili, or even got to watch him play as a kid or played against them, they have a mutual respect with Manu Ginobili. They understand what he meant to the game. They understand how important he was to the NBA. And they understand that, yes, without Manu Ginobili, the Spurs would not be 5-time champions. Maybe 2-time, maybe 3, but not 5-time. They wouldn't have got to 5 without Manu Ginobili. But certain people don't understand that. And I love Undisputed. I watch Undisputed religiously because it's one of my favorite sports shows. And I understand that when it comes to these sports shows, they don't throw out analytics. They don't actually give you valuable information. It's more so just a debate show, and I understand that. But when you get in the realm of debating just to fucking debate, that makes me sick. I cannot stand it when these shows do that, when they just say, you know what, we're going to debate just to debate. And I think that this episode today, when they talked about Manu Ginobili and Skip Bayless talked about how much Manu meant to the Spurs and how important Manu was to that franchise, and then they get to Shannon, you just expect Shannon to say, yes, he was wonderful, he was great, and that's that on that. But Skip Bayless came out and said that Manu Ginobili is a top 30 player of all time. I can't disagree with that. I can't dispute that. He didn't say top 10. He didn't say top 5. You can't dispute that. 4-time champion. The mentality of a Michael Jordan or Kobe. I think what made him upset, what made Shannon upset, is the fact that Popovich said that Manu has the mind frame of a Kobe and Michael Jordan. And I think he didn't like that because he didn't mention LeBron or some shit. So he comes out, when they get to Shannon, I'm expecting Shannon just to kind of agree and they move on to the next segment. Shannon comes in and says, no, Skip, he's not a 30-player, Skip. He's not a top 30 player, Skip. And all this other bullshit, and talks as if Manu Ginobili did not mean as much to the franchise as other players did. He started talking about how Tim Duncan, if it weren't for Tim Duncan, that's why the Spurs won all those championships. Tim Duncan alone. He talked about how, David Robinson's the second best Spurs player of all time. Sure, that's fine. But how the hell could you just totally disrespect? I'm telling you guys, you just have to watch it. Because I know it sounds like, okay, it's not that bad, him just disagreeing. No, he was kind of shitting on Manu. As if Manu did not mean that much. As if, and they mentioned the Olympics when Manu won for Argentina. And he said, yes, that was his highest achievement. Okay. Yeah, that was a great achievement. But don't just use that to shadow everything else Manu meant to San Antonio and what he meant to the Spurs. We would not have won 4 more championships if it wasn't for Manu Ginobili, and that's bullshit if anybody thinks otherwise, because there's other people out there like Shannon that think like that, and it pisses me off because he meant so much to the Spurs. So much. It wasn't just him coming out there and having to be a superstar. It wasn't just him having to score 30, 40 points. He didn't have to do that. But you know what he did? He taught guys that came in. He helped guys that came in. He brought a certain spirit to the team. Even this thing where we're seeing with the coffee gang, where Patty Mills got the coffee gang together, and they all have coffee. Grown man shit. They all go around, you know, get together in the morning, have coffee, and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Manu helped with that. Camaraderie of these of the Spurs is Manu. Manu is San Antonio. And for him to think that Manu did not mean that much, and for him to say things like, well, he's not Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is the man. I love Dwayne Wade. I think he needed to get more credit. But as far as saying who's better, how could you not argue that they're either around the same or Manu could be better? Like, you shouldn't just say with so much confidence that Manu can't be better than another player. Manu was the shit. We wouldn't have won those championships. Manu was clutch. Manu made certain plays in the game. He played defense. He gave his all every single night. And for Shannon Sharpe, if anybody else to think otherwise, you're either dumb or you're full of shit. And that's that on that. There's only two things. You're either stupid or you're full of shit. And I mean it. Because if you don't understand what Manu meant, you just don't watch basketball, and you should just go watch tennis or go watch rugby, because you don't need to watch NBA basketball if you don't understand what Manu Ginobili meant to this franchise. And I mean that. Manu Ginobili was incredible. And of course I'm gonna have a bias because I'm like the biggest Manu fan ever. Like, he's my favorite player of all time. But I do recognize that if you actually watch Spurs games, last season we wouldn't even make the playoffs without Manu Ginobili. He finished every fourth quarter for us. He hit big shots, made big things happen in almost every single fourth quarter last season on his way out. So Shannon Sharpe, shut the F up. You don't know what you're talking about. When you start saying Manu isn't a top 30 player and you start naming all these other players, I don't want to hear the shit. I really don't. The man got 4 championships. That's that on that. That's all I got to say. 4 championships. Now, don't you ever try to compare. And I said this before, and people called me crazy when I said this. Shannon is a beat. Well, let me say this. And I like Shannon Sharpe because Shannon Sharpe, don't get me wrong, I like Shannon Sharpe. This is why I'm so hurt by it, because it's like, don't just make an debate. I don't think he meant what he said, but I felt as if he was saying this only to make a debate out of it. He wasn't saying it because he actually meant that. Stop doing that shit. Like, debate shows are good when you actually have a debate, not when you just disagree just to disagree. I hate it. It's not good content. It's annoying. Don't just say that you disagree with something just so you can try to get some views. This was not the time. The man just had a retirement ceremony. That was very disrespectful to that man's legacy. He got 4 championship rings. 4 championship rings. What if we started just saying, you know what, Shannon, Elway's the reason you got your ring? Like, what if you just started doing that? Because Shannon Sharpe, he was a big playmaker. He was like the guy that you go to if you need a big play. That's who Manu was. So how the hell can you sit here and say all these people that's better than Manu? Now, let me tell you something. I said this before, and I got a lot of slack for it. A lot of people said that I was crazy for it. A lot of people unfollowed me on Instagram when I said this, and it was a while back. But I said this and I meant it, and I still mean it today. And people call me crazy. I can explain why I think this way, but if I could choose between, because the whole thing might be because, you know, Popovich didn't mention LeBron James when he was comparing Manu. Manu ain't like LeBron. If I could take a prime Manu Ginobili or a prime LeBron, and who would I put on my team? I would take Manu. And I know that sounds crazy, and people are like, oh, you say that but LeBron is this, LeBron is that. Let me explain. Manu isn't athletically better than LeBron James. He's not athletically better than a Kobe or a Michael Jordan. And of course, I would probably pick Michael Jordan over Manu, of course. But I'm just saying that he doesn't have the athleticism of these guys. But what he does have is this right here. He got that heart. He will take your fucking heart out. That's who he is. That's who Manu Ginobili is. And when it comes to Manu and LeBron, if I wanted to compare the two, and the reason why I would put Manu in those situations, or I would put Manu as my, prime player that I will put on my team, is because in high stress situation like the finals, if I can get enough talent around Manu, I can get to the finals. If I can get some talent around LeBron, I can get to the finals. I mean, just for shits and giggles, just say both of them were in the East. I can get to the finals probably almost every year with a prime Manu. He was the shit, and don't anybody think otherwise. You don't know what you're talking about if you don't think Manu was that incredible. So my thing is, would I take a guy that's capable of putting up a triple-double, but when the game is online, is willing to pass it to George Hill, or not take advantage of a Steph Curry on him, or not take advantage of a Tucker on him, because he did that with us also? Or would I take a guy that doesn't give a damn who's on him and who's going to go up with conviction and put that ball in the hole? Who would I pick? I'll pick Manu every single time. Manu could have 0 points all game. He hit the 3 at the end, and that's what won it. LeBron could put up 40 points in a game and at the end lose it because he wasn't willing to take the shot. I would take Manu. I'm sorry. And that's how much I believe that Manu was special. He didn't get the recognition because he was a Spur. He didn't get the recognition because he was humble. He didn't get the recognition because he was coming off the bench. But Spurs fans know what he meant. And Shannon Sharp, that was extremely disrespectful for you to come out and say that about Manu Ginobili and basically disregard everything Manu has done. The people that he put in front of Manu when he started saying, he said James Harden would be better than Manu. When it's all said and done, James Harden's going to be a better player than Manu. Fuck that. James Harden is an amazing player. And I'm sorry for all this cursing, y'all, but James Harden is an amazing player. But we saw what happens when James Harden in a stressful situation goes against Manu. Manu wins. I don't want to hear it no more. And it really pissed me off because I know other people actually believe that stuff. James Harden ain't none of Manu. He's not. You saw what happened was when Manu Ginobili goes against James Harden. You know what happens. So stop it. I'm tired of it, man. 40-year-old Manu school Harden. You damn right. You damn right he did. He blocked it. He said, get that out of here. That was weak. That was soft. I'm Manu Ginobili. It's just disrespectful. That's all. There's certain players, and everyone values, and I know it's subjective as far as, is he top 30? Is he this? How you... It's just me personally. How I rank a player is he has the heart, he has the talent, he has the ability to cut your throat. And he's made more than enough attempts of doing so. He's failed. Yes, Manu has failed. Yes, Manu's done some crazy stuff in his career where it's like, damn, Manu, where was that pass going? Of course he's done that. But that's how I measure a player. Somebody that's willing to test. Somebody who's willing to take that last shot regardless. And somebody who has these moments in his career where he doesn't mostly lose. Manu got like a 70% win percentage. He has 4 championships. And for anybody to think that he didn't mean as much to the Spurs as he did, you're just mistaken and you don't know what you're talking about. When you look at people like Michael Jordan, when you look at people like Kobe Bryant, hell, you can look at Dwayne Wade. These guys were killers. When you look at Kyrie Irving, as weird as he's been this season, these guys are killers. They want to take your throat out. They want to annihilate you. They don't have to be disrespectful. They don't have to pump their chest. They don't have to, put on a charade after games. They don't have to wear a cast to show, an excuse for why they lost. They don't have to fake cramps to get out of games. No, they're going to play to the end, and they want to kill you. Because that's just... Manu is in that category. So anybody that thinks that he can't make it into a top 30 list of NBA players, you're crazy. You're crazy. And if you think, just like Tim Duncan, y'all. Tim Duncan, and I'm not saying Manu was the best shooting guard until he left. He wasn't. He wasn't. Obviously, I mean, he wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of great players. And when Manu aged, of course, you know, he wasn't going to be that. But he is the type of player that, yes, if you separate Manu from other guards, you might say the guards are better. But when they have to face Manu, they're fucked. That shows you how great he is. Same thing with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, in my opinion, was the best power forward in the league until he retired. Because every single player, yes, Boogie could put up, you know, 30 points and 10 and put up all these crazy numbers. But guess what? When they went against Tim Duncan, that wasn't the case. So it's very disrespectful. It's very what's the word? Not dangerous. It's very irresponsible. That's the word. It was very irresponsible for Shannon to come out there and say that, because a lot of young people watch Undisputed, and you know, they really don't like Skip, so they're gonna want to disagree with Skip. And if you ain't watched Manu, there's gonna be a lot of people that idea of Manu is gonna be slightly damaged just based off of what Shannon Sharp said. So I just wanted to get my emotions out there. Just know that yes, I saw it, and yes, it pissed me off just as much as it did you guys. And you know, if you like the video, please give it a like, you know, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave comments underneath, because I'm about to go ahead and get off. But it was bullshit. It was bullshit. Yeah, I miss Stephen A. Smith and Skip too. I never thought I'd say that. I love Skip though. I do love me some Skip. And I like Shannon as well. But all right, y'all, I'll get with you later. Peace.